Hey, what's up guys? My name is Saurav and this is my YouTube channel Data Science Novice. So if you are new to my YouTube channel, please do like and subscribe. Your efforts are massively appreciated. So finally we are about to complete this project and so far we have explored a lot of things related to data preprocessing. And in this video we are going to build some advanced linear regression model and we will see that how we can build a model using two different models. So before starting this, I want to tell you one thing. If you have done all these things that we have talked about and you know what and why of these things, then you are ready to crack data science interview. Because the amount of knowledge we have explored in this project can easily help you crack the interview. So after this project, don't forget to update all these things in your CV. So let's get started. So first of all, you will notice that I haven't checked the assumption of linear regression model. And that is because I want you to explore this thing. And if you are confused how to do this thing, this is something I have already shown you in the first project. So go to the playlist on data science project and you can find the video there. So first of all, we are going to build a simple linear regression model using sklearn library because simple is always better. We try complex model at later stage to see whether we are able to increase the performance of the model or not. So let's import the linear regression model from sklearn linear models. And the next thing is to instantiate this model. So once we have instantiated this model, next task is to fit this model on the training data. So we call .fit method and inside that we pass our xtrain and ytrain data. And like that we have trained the linear regression model. Now the next task is to check that how the model is performing, and for that we are going to calculate the scores. So the score I am going to talk about is R square, which is also known as coefficient of determination. That tells us that how much of the variation is explained by the model, and its value ranges between 0 and 1, or you can say 0 and 100%, where the higher percentage is always desirable. So to print out the score, we just have to call .score method, and inside that we just have to pass the data. So here you can see that we have a score of 89%, which means that 89% of variance is explained by the model, which is a good thing for us as a beginner because this data set is quite challenging. Now the real test for this model is how it performs on test data, because at the end of the day, model is going to predict on the data it has never seen. So a good model should give similar result to training data. So we are going to copy paste the same code, and inside that I have to just change the data. So first I'm going to change this string, and then we are going to change the data. Here it has to be x test, and then we have to pass y test, and that's all we have to do. So now we are seeing here that it gives us minus 4.41. So again I made a mistake to teach you something. This is something because remember in the previous video we did the log transformation on the training data, but we didn't do that on the test data. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I call y train, now you see that the values are 11, 12 or 13 like that. But if I call y test, now here we see that the values are in 1000. So these two datas are on different scale. We have to bring both the data on same scale. So if we apply log transformation on y test as well, we can see that we have bring both the data on same scale. So this is something we are going to change on the data set as well. So let me see where I made this change. So we are going to copy paste the same code and we just have to change the data set name. So let's do that. And obviously we are going to get this error because we made some changes in dataset, so we have to run this cell again. So I'm going to fast forward because it may take some time. Now here we are seeing this behavior. We are getting much better result on test data than the training data, which should not happen, and this is something you should read about. Although it's not a big problem, it can be solved easily, and this is something you should pitch if asked in the interview about the project. And also tell him how you go about the problem, how you deal with this problem, because these are the things that are tested during interview, that how you go about a problem if faced one. And these are the genuine problem data scientists came across during model building. So make sure to find out why it's happening. So as of now, I am going to build another regression model which is very advanced in nature, and you can read about it on internet. So we are going to build XGBoost regression model. So first, to use this model, you need to install this, and that can be done using pip install xgboost in your terminal. And if you face any problem, just Google it, you can find the solution easily. Since it's already installed in my machine, I'm just going to import it. So I'm going to call import xgboost as xgb. So first we have to create instance of xgb class, and we are going to name it model 2. Then if we call xgb dot and press tab, we have multiple models, but we are going to choose regressive. So it takes few parameters. So first parameter we are going to pass an estimator. That is basically how many trees it is going to create. So in this case, I am going to go with 450 trees. So next we have max depth parameter, which basically means how depth you want your tree to be. So in this case, I am going to go with 3. You can pass any value between 0 to infinity. Next we have to pass the learning rate, and this is going to be 0.6. And that's all we have to do for the modeling part. Next we are going to fit this model. So I'm going to call fit method, and inside that we are going to pass our x train and y train data. So here we are getting warning. So let me see how I can remove this warning. Okay, so instead of passing n estimators, I have to pass n estimators. So let me correct this s. So model has trained, and you can see the values of the parameter. Next, we are going to test the model. So let's print out the score for both the training data and the test data. So again, we are going to call this score method, and inside that we are going to pass our x train and y train data. And here we see that the value of R square is 99.98%. Now let's check the same for test data. And for that, we are going to use the same method and just pass the test data. And here we are getting R square value 88%, which suggests that the model is overfitting. So overfitting is a condition where the model performs really well on training data but fails to perform on test data. And you can find more about that on internet. This is also a very big problem in model building. Now let's see how changing an estimator affects the model. And you can see that it doesn't change much. Let's try changing learning rate. So now I'm going to reduce it to 0.3. And we can see that R square is increased by 1% point in training set. Now let's see how the change in alpha value of lasso regularization affect the performance of the algorithm. So why I am doing all these things? I want to show you that even after building the model, there are many things we can do, and that is known as hyperparameter tuning. So now you can see that the performance of the model has decreased by 3%. Now let me show you how you can make the prediction on test set. So for that, we just have to call predict function of the model, and inside that we are just going to pass our data. So here we have our predictions or sales price, but the problem is that we are getting values like 11, 12. This is because our model was trained on log transform data, so it is spitting these values. So to convert them into actual money, we are going to use exponent. And now you can see that these prices are reported in thousands. So now we are actually getting the actual prices. Now let's see how we can combine both the models. So first of all, we are going to save the prediction for both the models in a separate variable. So I am going to call prediction 1, and then I am going to pass np.exponent, and inside that we are going to make prediction using regression model, and we are going to make prediction on x test because we have the y test value so that we can compare the results. Similarly, we are going to use XGBoost to make the prediction. So I'm going to save it into prediction 2, and the code is going to be very similar. Now, instead of calling reg, I'm going to call model 2, and then I'm going to make the prediction. Next, we are going to create a new variable that is going to hold the prediction for the model we are going to create. And how do we do that? It is very simple. We are just going to take a linear combination of these two predictions. And like that, we are going to create a new model that uses both the models. And also this is known as ensemble techniques, where we combine two models prediction using some kind of statistics, like using average or using weights. Like this, right now we are using weights, so we are assigning 0.4 weight to the first prediction and 0.6 to the second prediction. You can say that for the final prediction we are relying 40% on regression model and 60% on XGBoost, and these are the values you can play around with. Next, we are going to create a data frame in which we are going to create columns for each prediction and one column for actual value. So we are going to call pd.dataframe to create a data frame, and then inside that we are going to pass our variables, or you can say the predictions. Then we have to pass our dictionary, and inside that we are going to define the prediction, or you can say column. So first we are going to create a column for prediction made by regression model. So I'm going to call it regression. Next we are going to pass XGBoost model prediction. So I'm going to call prediction 2. Next we pass the combined prediction, and I'm going to call it linear because we use linear method to combine these two models. Now let's run this cell, and now let me show you the prediction data frame. Okay, sorry, before that we have to add actual value. So let me add that too. So here I'm going to call this data frame as actual, and then I'm going to pass the actual values. And here we have to use np.exponent. Then inside that we have to pass y-test data. That is because it is still in logarithmic form. So just to make sure every column is on the same scale. So now let's check the data set. So we are going to print first 5 values. And now you can see that we are getting values. So you can see that regression column, XGBoost column, linear column, and actual values. So why we are doing this? And the reason is because we are going to visualize something. And this kind of visualization we are going to do, you can use it in your future project as well. Since the code is quite long, I am going to copy paste it, and don't worry about it. It is very easy to understand if you have been following my video series. So here is the code. Let's run this cell and visualize the predictions. So I have made the scatter plot of actual versus model prediction. That is why we have 3 graphs. And we can see that how the values are dispersed. So if the model had been perfect, it would have been like this orange dot line. This is our actual prediction. But since model is not perfect, we see blue dots scattered around. So how to know which model is better by looking at the graph? Well, choose that model for which blue dots are more aligned or near to the orange dot. So that's all for this project. I hope you enjoy this project and learn some concept. Make sure to try whatever I have told you. And please share and subscribe. It takes great amount of effort to create these kind of video. So if you have any doubt, feel free to ask in comment section. I will try to answer them. So that's all for this video. I will see you in the next project. Till then, bye, stay safe and wear a mask.